assassinated. And that same night, the FBI forced my family to leave New York. And so we came back home to where I was born in North Carolina. And then I grew up in Greensboro and eventually was recruited by almost every major college in the country as a student athlete to play football. And then I chose University of Colorado. And then I was drafted by the football Giants in the eighth round, and was fortunate to play for two world championship Super Bowl teams, and just raised my family. I met my wife there. All my kids were born right there in New Jersey. And then I just finally, after about 40 years, decided to come back home. So I'm in Greensboro, North Carolina, living out the fourth quarter of my life, and pretty much the second half of my life I have served as an inspirational speaker, and I also serve as a positive role model for mentorships. So I conduct mentorship programs all over the country. I travel a lot, so I'm in different places, and I have mentorship programs. I'm in different places like once a month, and I have groups of youth that I mentor at one time, and it's really really I don't even know what word to describe it. It's my whole life I've worked to get to this place to serve as a positive role model, and I'm actually doing what I've dreamed and what I have a great passion for. So that's me.
We
That's
should have
awesome.
saved you for last because mine is not that exciting and as important as you.
Go ahead, give it a shot, man.
My name is also Rahul. I actually know Rahul from North Penn as well. I graduated in 2010. Went to Temple, very Philly native, Philly bias. My wife and I both, at this moment, I live in Harleysville. I'm a realtor for the area, for the greater Philadelphia area. And just making a living. Me and my wife just bought our first house here in Harleysville, and
Awesome.
we're
Congratulations.
thank you very much. Really
Congratulations.
appreciate it.
Congratulations.
So yeah, we should have definitely saved you for last. So
No, we don't listen, man. We all brothers. We don't compare our lives or anything like that.
yeah.
We all just love one another, man. We
Very
know
true.
the
Very
last one of
true.
us, we're unique, and we got a good team here tonight. So let's get it on. Let's go.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, go ahead, Raul.
You can ask the first question, Charlie.
Okay. Uh, Lee, I have a football question for you. When you came out of college and you got drafted by the Giants, who was the head coach that drafted you?
Head coach was Bill Parcells,
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
and then we had assistant coaches, Bill Belichick,
Yeah.
Oh man.
Romeo Cannell,
Right.
Tom Coughlin. We had a coaching staff.
Yeah. You got
we
to play
did.
with some legendary coaches there, really.
Oh,
Yes.
What did Bill Belichick coach there? Did he coach the special teams? Or was
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He was the defensive coordinator, and him and Romeo Cannell were the two special team coaches. So I got to know Bill a lot because that's how I made the team at first, was playing special teams.
Right. Okay. Yeah. A lot of guys make it their first time chasing kicks
That's
and
right.
trying to get down there as fast as they can, just split somebody's noggin open.
That's right.
Yeah,
Good way to put it.
sure. I've seen it, and I can tell that there's a lot of collisions going on out there. Did you you started for the Giants? Didn't you? The second time that the Giants won the Super Bowl.
No, I did not start. I have a whole different story. Instead of starting, I was pretty much blackballed
What was that?
because because I became a plaintiff in a court case for free agency in 1989.
Okay.
And that was a no-no. And because of that, I didn't get to carry the ball as a running back the entire season. I was left out of the community affairs. I was probably the number one inspirational speaker for the football giants. I didn't have one speaking engagement. Um, it was really the roughest, most difficult part of the journey of my life that I experienced during that time.
Oh yeah, I can totally imagine that. Did So what happened when you were plaintiff in this the free agency uh, case? How did that proceed, and how did your career proceed with it?
I got a phone call from the director for the Players Association. His name was Gene Upshaw,
Right. Okay.
and he's a former player. He played for the Oakland Raiders, but now he served as the director for the Players Association. So he calls me on my phone. He says, "Lee, we're getting ready to take the NFL to court for free agency, and you have the strongest case. We would call it the Lee Rouson case, but nobody knows your name. So we're going to call it the Freeman McNeil case." Freeman McNeil was a running back for the New York Jets at the time.
Yeah.
He went to UCLA. He was a great athlete, but he was well paid. He was starting running back. He was well known in the NFL, and he knew that he wasn't going to win the court case because, and the way that we fought the case was we had to prove that we were damaged financially, and which that connected to our careers as well. And so I was a perfect example. I was protected. They had a new system in the NFL called Plan B. So every team was allowed to protect 30 ball players, and the remaining 15 or whatever ball players, they were so-called free agents. And that system was put in by the NFL because they knew that we were going to go to court at some time, and they felt that if they put that new system in, they would have a way to prove free agency, but it didn't work for them. And so myself and four other plaintiffs. It was about 10 plaintiffs who served in this case, and four of us actually won and changed the whole entire draft system. And in other language that I will put it in is that we changed the plantation, we changed the aristocracy of the NFL because that's what it was like. It was like a plantation. It was like a certain aristocracy where you had the owner, the overseer, and the slave, and that's just how it was. That was it. It was controlled by this aristocracy, and and it changed. But I paid a major price in it. It really affected me a lot. But I never gave up, and I was fortunate that when that even though I didn't get to carry the ball one time, I still experienced a victory in the Super Bowl 25, because um, I helped win that game on special teams. And the reason why I played so well was because one of my teammates got in my face. And after he saw me outside, and he asked me what's going on, and I just lost it. I went nuts. I started cursing. I went crazy. I said, I hate the Giants. They ruined my life. I'm going to the hotel to get my wife and my kids, and we're getting out of here right now. I'm done. It was like when he asked that question, it was like the straw broke the camel's back. And he doesn't say, let's go get a drink or let's go smoke this joint. Just the way that people try to cover their pain and what they're going through.
Right.
He gets in my face and he says, it's not about you, Lee. I've never been here. And it was Everson Walls. He had just came from the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, it's defensive back.
There you go. And he goes, you're not going to stop us from winning this game. Your time is going to come, Lee. Do you understand me? And that, I call it love. I say he verbed me because I spell love VERB, right? So I said, Everson, he acted in my highest interest by speaking the truth in love. But that hurt, right? that came from his words was so powerful because it overcame the other hurt that was going on in me. And from that moment on, it was like I began to be cleansed from all the bitterness and the frustration and the pain and the hurt that was in my heart and my mind. And it wasn't just football. It was from all other kind of things that went on in my life. But in that moment, that love that he gave me, it began to change my life in that moment.
What was your favorite? What was your memorable moment playing for the New York Giants?
So the first Super Bowl I was in was against the Denver Broncos. That Super Bowl I just finished talking about was against the Buffalo Bills. So I had the most all-purpose yards in Super Bowl 21.
Wow.
And so I remember so that moment, that game was my favorite moment in life. It was my sophomore year in the NFL, and I realized that a dream had come true as far as becoming the Super Bowl champion. And because the overall purpose in in my life of obtaining that goal or fulfilling that dream, and you guys heard me describe myself as a positive role model, I knew that if I accomplished some of what I dreamed about, that I would be able to serve other people in our communities as a positive role model. So that was my favorite. To answer your question, that was my favorite moment in the NFL. That victory, that Super Bowl victory, breaking the Super Bowl record, and of course winning the game. That was a great moment in my life, Ro.
One of the viewers, some of the viewers are watching the show, and one of the viewer, his name is Coupe. He has a question for you. He says, how many Super Bowl would the Giants have won if Randall Cunningham was the quarterback instead of Phil Simms?
First of all, I'm kind of sensing that I'm in Eagles territory right now.
Yeah.
I think I'm surrounded. I'm surrounded by Eagles.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded. You know.
Well,
He's
well,
he's gonna make you sing the Eagles fight song at the end of the show. So
Hey, Lee,
I'm just warning everybody, okay?
Lee, if it
All
makes you
know.
feel any better, I'm a Carolina Panthers fan.
yeah,
so-
yeah.
Oh,
I was
okay,
just-
all right.
yeah. Eagles fan right here.
And I
And
like the
Raul and so is
49ers.
Charlie's 49ers fan.
Oh no.
Uh,
Not the 49ers.
Hey, Raul, do you mind if I go next? I can
Yeah.
ask Lee a question. Hey, Lee, what was your favorite moments after winning 2 Super Bowl championships?
So as far as football, or just life.
He's
What
asking
do you were asking me what's my favorite moment in terms of football
Yeah,
or life?
What's your favorite moments winning after winning Super Bowl championships, both of them? What was your favorite
Well,
moments?
Well, in terms of football, my favorite moment was when I got a phone call March 1st, after Super Bowl 25. So I'm a two-time Super Bowl champion. I got 2 Super Bowl rings, and I'm getting ready. I don't know what's going to happen in my future, but I'm getting ready. It's going into my 7th year, and my phone rings at my house, and I go hello, and it's Bill Belichick. And he goes, "Hey Lee, how you doing?" I'm doing great, coach. He goes, I said, "What's going on?" He goes, "Well, I'm the new head football coach for the Cleveland Browns." And he goes, "It's your time now." And I remember when Everson Walls said, "Your time is coming." And that was the first thing that he said, "It's your time now." And I said, "What are you talking about, coach?" He said, "Well, you're going to be my starting running back. You ready?" I was like, "Yeah." Fly
Wow.
me in. Fly me in. I'll sign the contract right now. And I was scheduled to visit all kind of other teams because I was a free agent at that point because I held out in 1990. I Here I am, a backup running back. I held out of training camp for 2 weeks. And then Bill Parcells finally calls me and says, Lee, I need you to come into training camp. I said, Bill, play me or trade me. And he said, I tell you what, if you come in and it works out good for you, then everything's good. If it doesn't work out for you, I will not protect you next year, and you can be a free agent and you can go play for anybody else who you want to play for.
Yeah.
And so he kept his word. So he didn't protect. So and he quit that year too. But the Giants kept their word. They didn't protect me, and so Belichick took me with him to the Browns. So that was my favorite moment, to experience that freedom, to experience what I was fighting for. For free agency, that I was a free agent and I was free to go play for another team.
Yeah,
So that was my favorite moment.
because before free agency, you were locked in. I mean, you would get picked up by a team and you were locked in because you couldn't get out because they were the only ones, giving you the contracts. So they had you, just like in baseball, same thing. And yeah, it was a great thing. I mean, the players today are very grateful. Should be very grateful. Guys like you, back in the '80s, did that.
They don't know. I always say the real revolution in life, when you learn really how to fight in war in life, where you're not manipulating people, you're not doing all kind of crazy stuff. You're just fighting the right way. It's never televised. No, most people don't even know about this case. It's never been documented and showed on television or anything, ESPN or nothing. So the real revolution is never televised. How do you really fight, be a soldier in life, and fight the war of life in ways that benefit you and those who you care about? I don't, it was just one of those things. I've been in many events with current and former ball players, and sometimes somebody who knows me would say, the reason why you guys are making $45 million a year to $65 million a year is because of Lee. What are you talking about? Well, he's one of the 4 guys that the one free agency. That's why you guys are getting paid the kind of money you guys are getting paid right now, because of what he did.
Who were the other 3 guys who were with you?
That was my that was my question, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's not. I mean, you guys are the moderators.
So Frank Minifield, who was a cornerback for the Cleveland Browns, Mark Collins, who was a cornerback for the New York Football Giants,
right,
and a guy named Dave Richards, who was an offensive lineman for San Diego and the Redskins.
Okay.
So we were the guys that actually won the case, and everything changed in like 1993. There was a real true free agency that swept through the NFL.
Right. You just finally got paid what you were worth, and what it's a shame the guys back in the '60s weren't able to get paid like that, because it was tough. It was tough ball back then. But yeah, I mean that's incredible. I mean, it's just to have the Guillons to hang, stay out, and force the league in the court case to make a decision, right? Like it was like a game of chicken. It was the first one. Who was the first one that was going to jump? And the league had no choice, but because they had all those players that were watching what was going on, and yeah, it's that was an incredible thing you just did. I mean, really, it was an incredible thing you did for sports.
How was it like playing with Lawrence Taylor?
Well, man, you got a couple of weeks, man, for me to cry on your shoulder and say, I had to play against LT every day.
Practice.
I had to go against the best linebacker ever in practice over and over and over again. And I had a couple of victories, but I think he had an off day. I don't think he was feeling good. He had a stomach ache or something,
He had a
I
cold.
got him a couple of times.
He had a cold that day.
Lawrence Taylor was a tremendous leader. He wasn't a rah-rah leader. You know, he didn't really like off the field lead by example, but in his football uniform, he was one of the most amazing, incredible leaders because he played the game and you could see his heart, his mind, his emotions, and his physicality all at the same time. He was a person that you could see somebody operating in all of those areas and how we all are made. And it affected everybody on the team. Everybody wanted to play like him.
Oh yeah, that is infectious. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
pulls people in.
That's right. It does. It really does.
Who's got a question here? Who has a question? Does anybody
I mean, I have a
I
football
do.
related
I have a question.
I do too.
All right. So there's no questions out there. All right, I'll continue to talk. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Go ahead, William. Go ahead.
Hey, Lee.
Yes, sir.
So, were you and Bill Belichick close? Close.
I really like that question. We were close as far as a player and coach relationship. He could depend on me on to get the job done. Or just as he told me and taught me when my rookie year, the first time I ever heard these iconic words. And he's famous for this. And here is the words: just do your job.
Right.
And
so that came from Bill Belichick, and those words they are spoken, they are said throughout the whole world, in business, in family, I'm sure, in religion, and every high place. People who are leaders and who of groups of people. That's one of their encouragements. You need to just focus on doing your job. Don't be worried about everybody else's job. Just do your job. So Bill Belichick, when I first heard those words my rookie year, there was a paradigm shift in my life. I began to learn how to focus on what my responsibilities are and not looking at somebody else and trying to tell anybody else how to live their life.
Yeah.
Exactly right. How do you feel about this upcoming Super Bowl between the Patriots and the Seahawks? I know Bill Belichick was coaching the Patriots.
Yeah, he was. He's not doing it now.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, I heard about that.
But he has a player who played for him who's the head coach.
Yeah, Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he has quite a few of those Super Bowl rings, and and he has that knowledge and experience, and I think also he's different from a lot of player coaches. Like every coach used to be a player, does not have the ability to coach. There are a lot of examples like that too. They're just not really good coaches. But I believe this guy is. I believe he has the leadership ability. He has the savvy. He has the intelligence. He has the commitment. He has the passion for coaching, and you see it in the players. You see it in the ball players.
And he knows
I don't know if they're ready to, if they're going to be victorious this game, but they may be victorious. I just don't. I don't know. I don't. Again, I'm not really a fan that says this team is going to win and that thing like that.
Yeah.
However, I look at Seattle, the season they've had and the team that they have right now is pretty strong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're really, really strong. And if the Patriots win, I think it'd be a little miracle. It'd be because they really played as one, and they played the best. Every player played the best game of their life. That's going to be the opportunity to win. Other than that, I don't know, because Seattle, it seems like they are in a certain spirit. They're in a certain zone right now, and they're playing really good football.
Do
Yeah, I agree.
do you like the hire of Giants hiring John Harbaugh?
Well, that's a great question. We're gonna really see. We're really gonna see, because I mean, John Harbaugh has had a degree of success with Baltimore, but he's never won a Super Bowl there.
Lee-
If that's the measure that we're looking at, we're going to see how he leads the group of players that he has with the football giants and the ones he's going to bring in. We'll see.
Lee, after retirement, did you go to any like Giants any of the Giants games? Did you go?
Yes, as a matter of fact, this year, 2026, we're going to celebrate the 40th year celebration for Super Bowl 21.
Yeah,
So,
1986.
1986. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to that game. I don't know who the Giants are playing right now on that weekend, but a lot of my teammates, we're all gonna go back and we're gonna celebrate that alumni reunion. And so I've gone back many years. We had a 10-year reunion, 25-year reunion, and we just had reunions where guys have come back, and it's really awesome.
Yeah, it's the brotherhood getting back together again.
That's right.
You know,
That's right. That's what it's about.
There's nothing better than having old friends. You know what I mean? Guys
That's
you
right.
play with. All right, who's next?
But I have one question for Lee, and then my next question is to Rahul. Lee, what was your favorite stadium you played at as a visitor? What was the most favorite stadium you liked playing at?
I guess. Wow, I never had that question asked before. That's really interesting, and
It's got to be Philadelphia and getting booed all the time.
Down at Veteran Stadium with the Rats.
But you know what? I had one of my best games at the Vet. I had one of my best games at the Vet. I really did.
Wow.
That's the old stadium. That's
Yeah.
old school stuff right there.
Yeah, that was.
But I guess my favorite place was to play was RFK.
Yeah, that was all grass, wasn't it?
Well, it was all grass. The fans are like breathing down your neck
Yeah.
because the field. I mean, the stands came right to the field, right where the ball players were, sideline, and you can hear them talking like, "Boo, number 22. We're not worried about you today," and to get you fired up, and all that, and to the worst place to lose was RFK, and which I experienced this one year in my career. We lost there one time. That was my first year we lost there.
To the Redskins.
To the Redskins, yep. But I've never lost there again. Every year from that we won. We beat the Redskins, and at RFK. So RFK was my favorite place to play. When I grew up in North Carolina, I was a Redskin fan.
Yeah.
And then when I got drafted by the Giants, and we were divisional rivals, that was the team that I wanted to beat. More than anybody. Even though I had my first touchdown against the Eagles.
Oh, there you go.
Rub it in.
Rahul, did you want to ask a question?
Yeah, I have a question for Rahul. Can you talk about how the real estate market is now compared to other?
Yeah. I'm still kind of reeling in from all the football legend stories. So, but in comparison, so you had asked me a few questions before, but I started my real estate career in 2022. That was kind of the end of the COVID era of real estate market boom, which if you ask me in retrospect, probably was the worst time to join as a realtor. The mortgage rates were coming back up from 2% to 6%, 7%. They were getting at their all-time high. Housing prices weren't going down. So it's definitely a little bit of struggle back then compared to what it is now. So compared to now, especially going to 2026, we were going to be looking at house values going up about 4-ish%. And then you have mortgage rates that are coming down to about 6.1% and staying steady over there. You have a lot more inventory up, although inventory has been going up every year steadily. It's just a very different market. I feel like we've come to a stabilizing point compared to where we were COVID and post-COVID. But yeah, I would say when I first started, it was definitely a struggle transitioning period. And I started with someone who's had a wealth of experience in real estate, and even she would tell me that, yeah, this is a very different time. Just chug through it. Like Lee said, do your job, and the fruit of that labor will come. And so, yeah, so to answer your question, that since I've only been for about 3 years, that to my knowledge of shift of real estate market, that's what it's been like. So I would say in 2026, I'm hoping for a lot more activity in the market, especially with interest rates kind of coming to a standpoint at the low sixes. So we'll see. I'm hoping for a great 2026.
Uh, when did you get interested in going into real estate?
So that's actually a very funny story. As I was telling you guys before we started the podcast, I've done a lot of different jobs after college, business, banking, IT, and all those things. So I had come to a point after my marriage that where I was actually considering a couple different options. I had been working at the bank for about 5 years, and I had moved and climbed the ladder as very quick in my early years of the bank, but then I had kind of plateaued out, and I wasn't seeing a lot of growth, and the corporate number lifestyle wasn't really working for me. So I had a couple options to go back to business with my dad, go back to school for something else. But my wife actually, a funny story, she loves this show called Modern Family. And in Modern Family, the husband is a realtor. His name is Phil. And he's a very goofy character with his family and his kids. And so she was like, you know what? He reminds me of you. What if you became a realtor? You're a very people person, and it gives you the flexibility you've been looking for. So I kind of thought it over what she said, and I ended up taking my exam. And 3 years later, here I am.
Excellent. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Do you plan in about a couple of years? Do you plan to start your own real estate business?
That's a very good question. I think when people join real estate, they always have a goal of having their own brokerage or having their own team, which in a lot of cases means you've done enough business and gained a wealth of experience, and now you're ready to make bigger moves, encourage other people, teach people. I had mentioned my dad is in business, so I kind of went the route of trying to learn as much information I can as about real estate and doing my job properly because my goal was to eventually try to get into commercial real estate.
Yes.
And that comes with kind of bigger moves, right? And you're dealing with businesses, you're dealing with a few clients at a time, you're not chasing home buyers here and there. So I thought that was the most appealing for me. But honestly, as I've gone through the business for the past 3 years, I really call it a people business because I build a pipeline of relationships, right? And for one of my clients, I'm their emergency contact for their kids. For another one, I've attended social events with them and things like that. So the relationship you build is the one thing that I really do love the most. So I know this doesn't necessarily answer your question, do I want to start my own brokerage at any time soon? I don't know what the future holds, but I do know that I'm very happy and content with the team and the guidance that I've gotten to then continue to build and become the expert that I want to be.
That's excellent. You and Lee are in the same situation. You're both in a brotherhood, and you work together with the people that you trust,
Yes,
and you want to be around them. And
absolutely.
same thing with football. You get on a team where you have somebody that's a leader, like uh, yeah, a leader, and then you have other guys that are just want to play, and they'll follow him wherever he's going to take them. So
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the parallel between real estate and football.
I
Or
like
any,
that parallel because you put me as close to a football player as I'll ever get. So,
yeah,
Kevin,
Listen,
two question. One for Lee. Which was the best defense you ever played against? And second question is for Kevin. Can you talk about your work and what you do, Kevin?
I guess I mean I played against some great defenses. San Francisco, Dallas. Um, I played against some great defenses, but probably the greatest defense was the Eagles. They had Reggie White, Jerome Brown, and what's the other guy's name? I mean, they had the crazy outside linebackers.
Gary Cobb. Gary.
Yeah,
Joyner,
Cobb and Joyner,
Joyner, yeah,
and
and
they had another defensive lineman too. He was really good.
yeah,
No,
Jerome Brown.
well, I said Jerome Brown, but the
Oh,
other one.
okay,
Anyway, but they had Mike Reichenbach, inside linebacker.
right.
He's a Pennsylvania boy. But the Eagles defense was probably the toughest defense I ever played against, along with San Francisco and the Cowboys back in the day.
Yeah,
They hit.
may Jerome Brown and Wedgie White both rest in peace.
Yes, I
I,
thank you.
Yeah, I actually have a Reggie White green Kelly green hoodie, and it's patched with Jerome Brown's jersey number on it.
Wow. That's
Man, we
sweet.
gotta we
Yeah,
gotta we gotta
I'm actually gonna wear it tomorrow to work. I'll show you guys real quick. Hold on.
man, we got a real live eagle up in here, man.
Yeah.
William's all
I better
fired
watch
up.
my back, man.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Look,
Oh,
There you go.
my sister got this for me for Christmas. Look,
That's real
Wow.
nice.
That's
really
all
That's
right.
amazing.
Raul, do you
That's
remember
awesome.
I wore this to the Eagles game?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't let anybody eat around you.
Nice.
You don't eat. You're not allowed to eat.
Yeah, keep that thing clean.
Yeah.
Kevin, can you talk about what you do?
Thanks,
The
Kevin.
work you do?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a project manager. I work for a small telecommunications company called Opt4 Group. We're located in Doylestown, which is probably about 30 minutes from North Penn. I've been working there for about 4 years now. What we do is structured IT cabling. So we build like server rooms basically. We run cables for things like phones, computers, cameras, wireless access points. We do many other things, installing security cameras, projectors, TVs, a lot of other things. We're a small company, but we are very, very busy right now. I think I'm dealing with about a total of 50 active projects right now, and they're kind of all spread throughout the country. Like we have an active project in San Francisco. We have a couple active projects down in Charlotte, North Carolina, a couple down in Florida, and et cetera. So it's a very, very busy time of year for me right now.
What are the other countries?
So we don't really. I mean, we have done work in Europe previously, but that was before my time at this company. But we're pretty much nationwide. We've had projects in Alaska, projects in California, Washington. So we're kind of all over the place right now.
All over the United States?
Yes,
Wow.
correct. Yep.
So you do residential as well as commercial?
So it's mostly commercial. But I was telling these guys before I think the podcast started, we are doing a couple Toll Brothers projects.
Okay.
Although we're not doing the actual like houses itself, but we're doing the clubhouses
Yeah.
where people come to work out and stuff like that. So we do all the like music systems in there, TVs. We do access control, internet services, basically things of that nature.
So what's your main role?
So my main role is I'm a project manager. So I'm meeting with customers all the time. getting on construction meetings, reviewing floor plans and relaying, things to the technicians out in the field.
That's
So
awesome.
very, very hands-on.
If you don't mind me asking, where those Toll Brothers communities were again that you were?
Yeah. So I think we have, I think 6 or 7 are active right now. So we have one that is in Griffith Lakes down towards Charlotte, North Carolina.
Got you.
We have one in Indian Land, South Carolina, which is kind of like right on the border of Charlotte almost. We have one in Bucks County, actually. Right now it's called Regency at Stone Meadow.
Yeah, I know where you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're doing that clubhouse there. We have another project up in Carmel, New York.
Okay.
And then we also have one down in Naples, Florida.
So you
Okay.
travel a lot, I would take it.
Oh yeah. It's a lot of traveling. I try not to travel, especially because I drove down to South Carolina a couple of weeks ago, and that was, I think, about a 9 hour drive.
Wow.
I actually didn't end up driving the whole way because I actually left on Sunday around 12 o'clock noon, and that was the same day when the Eagles were playing. I forget who they lost to that day. I think it was
The
the
Niners.
49ers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I stopped at a hotel like halfway down in Virginia and got a hotel right before the game. So I was able to watch the whole game, and then I left at like 4 a.m. the next morning to get down to the project site at like 9 a.m.
Yeah, me and
So you
Raul
hadn't
went to the
slept
game.
all night, yeah. And you were
Pretty
up with
much, very, very little sleep.
you're up with your buddies, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must have been some day you were on.
Oh,
Some day
yeah.
you had.
Yeah, it
that
was-
must have
it's
been
a
a long
long-
day for you, Kevin.
Yeah, it was a long day, but most days are pretty long for me. I'm usually up by, 5 or 6 a.m. most days, because our guys usually start projects at like 6 in the morning. So I'm usually up and out by then, and I usually finish my days up around like 5 or 6 o'clock at night. So it's pretty much almost like a 12-hour day most days.
But you don't
Kev-
bring
uh,
you don't
Kevin,
bring
you-
a job home with you, do you? You don't bring your work
I-
home with you, do you?
No, I always do. My boss tells me that us as project managers, we're supposed to be on the clock 24/7. So
Don't believe him. If
Yeah.
if he's not showing you the Benjamins, then you don't go.
it's pretty much just like Lee said. Just do your job.
Oh,
That's true.
Kevin, you're from Philly. How did you become a Carolina Panthers fan?
Oh,
yeah,
man,
that's why
okay.
I was just about to
Yeah,
ask him the
yeah,
same
no,
question,
so-
Raul.
so-
How
so
long have
Lee-
you been a Panthers fan?
Oh man, for almost as long as I can remember. What's funny is my dad actually has a picture on Facebook somewhere. He took me to the Eagles and Falcons NFC Championship game when I
Mhm.
think Brian Dawkins almost knocked out what was his name? Algie Crumpler, the tight end.
Yeah,
I think that's what his name was. So my dad took me down to that game, and that was actually like a day after we probably got like almost 2 feet of snow. So it was freezing cold that game. But we had a blast. That was probably when I was, oh man, probably almost 10, maybe 11 years old. And I was an Eagles fan back then just because my dad forced me to. And then I think it might have been like a year or two later, the Panthers played a game in Philly and were wearing their like teal Carolina blue jerseys.
Yeah.
And that was back when they had, guys like Jake Delhomme, Steve Smith. Steve Smith, probably one of my all-time favorite receivers in all of the NFL. And I just fell in love with those blue jerseys and Steve Smith, really. Yeah.
you were drawn in. You gotcha.
And what's funny is actually probably a couple years later, my dad got me a Steve Smith Carolina blue jersey, probably that same year that I became a fan. And anyways, we were going to a preseason game with the Panthers playing in Philly. And of course, I was wearing my Panthers gear.
Oh,
And,
bad move.
And so anyways, me and my dad are getting ready to walk into the stadium, and then this guy tailgating right across the street. You know, he had a little too much to drink, I'm sure, and he yells, "Hey kid, screw you and screw the Panthers."
So what did you
So,
learn
yeah.
from that interaction?
Kevin, how old were you then?
Oh man, I had to have been probably like 13 years old, maximum, probably 12 years old.
The
So that
stuff you
was
remember.
yeah. So yeah, that was it.
Hey, Kevin, did you say to the man, "Hey, don't talk. Hey, don't talk about my team."
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, did you said to him, "Eagles suck"? Said?
I didn't. No, my dad wouldn't let me, unfortunately, as a little 12-year-old. But
Yeah.
just to finish this, I have an even better story. So my dad took me to a Panthers and Eagles game again in Philadelphia during the regular season back in 2018, I believe. And this was when Cam Newton was still on the team.
Yes.
And the Panthers, I think, were down. I forget what the score was. I think they were down by like 17 points going into the fourth quarter. And of course, I was, in my Panthers gear, and just all the Eagles fans around me are chirping me, saying like, "Hey, your team sucks, blah blah blah. Like, take
And
that off." And then, next thing you know, Panthers slowly start coming back, and they end up winning the game.
so what did you say to them?
Hey.
Hey,
I just turned around and basically
laughed.
just started saying bye. Bye.
He lives in Philly. He's smart enough to know just walk away.
Walk away.
And
Walk away, Renee.
Yeah.
two questions for Lee. My first question is, how's the tailgate when you go to New York Giants games? How's the tailgate like? And which is the best tailgate you ever been to?
Well, I've never really tailgated because as a player, I do remember we would come out, after we got treatment and showered and everything like that. There were still some fans out there waiting, just try to get some autographs and stuff. But mostly everybody was finished tailgating. But I'm sure you had a few people out there tailgating, but I never really experienced the tailgating. You wanted to get out of there. You've been there all day long. You get out. So again, I'm not really a fan in that particular way, but I have tailgated at some college games. And
There
the
you
best tailgate that I ever went to, and I'm including Colorado, was Penn State.
Yay.
go.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't
I
have a
went-
party. They
I
had a
went to
party
a-
up there.
I went to a Penn State game, and I went there with my youngest son, and we experienced like multiple Penn State fans. They're tailgating their big giant RVs,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and they had all kind of like cooking appliances and all kind of stuff, all kind of drinks and everything. I mean, it was amazing, man. It was pretty fun.
My next question for you is, what was your game day motivation like before you step onto the field?
I just I kind of like on the bus from the hotel, I would go to sleep.
Hmm.
I just fell into like a place of being relaxed. I just like calm myself down, and I kind of I kind of focused on my soul being in order. That that my will would go first, my mind would be second, and then my emotions would follow. So I tried to make sure that my soul was in order. And that's the best way I can describe it, guys. I- instead of getting all hyped, like you see some ball players are just so hyped. I mean, they get so hyped, and it's like it's too hype, it's too much.
They
You
expend
have
all
to
their
have
energy.
control type of emotion.
Right.
You got to be able to think, in certain situations. You gotta because you want to be creative, you want to make things happen, you want to be a team player, a part of the victory, it's all that type of thing. So I would have my headphones on, I would listen to have certain kind of music on, and then I'd be out, like but you know, the next time I would wake up, you know, whoever I was sitting beside, so let's go, Rue, let's go. You know, they'd wake me up. I was out because I was just chill, you know, and then I was at that point I was ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody has their thing.
That's right.
And that's probably the best way to go about it. Being nice and chill, when you go into it. Instead of
know it.
expending all that energy early on, and then by like halftime or third quarter, they're all blown out, So, yeah. Thank you for that story. Let's see.
Hey, Lee, I have a question for you. So you played for the Giants. Were you coached by Buddy Ryan and Bill Parcells?
So I never played for Buddy Ryan.
Okay.
I never got a chance to play for Buddy but my two head coaches were Bill Parcells for the Giants and then Bill Belichick for the Browns.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I've written a little instructional manual for life. It's called "Who Are You Really?" and "The Ship." It's two parts. One is a noun. The first part is a noun. Who are you really? And then the second part of the instructional manual for the game of life is the ship. Well, so when you know who you are really, you know the noun of your identity. You know your persona. You know the place, your heart, and your mind, and you know the thing, your character. Now that noun must converge with the verb. Now you got to be it. You got to act like it. This is what I challenge many people when I speak. Just don't know who you are. You got to be it too. There has to be a convergence in our lives in terms of identity. And a lot of people fail to do that. And when and they start by just being all kind of stuff, and then but it's just like it's really in their mind. But anyway, um, I love sharing and challenging people about and I don't try to tell anybody who they are. That's none of my business. I don't try to tell them, this, you got to be this. I just present like it's like a gift, like I give people a present. Like if I would give any one of you a gift, I would wrap it up, but you have to open it and receive it. So
Right.
I'll wrap up my gift with words. Who are you really? And then I hope that the person who I present that to will open it up and at some point in their lives decide who they are really, and then converge that noun, that decision with the verb. Now be it. Now act like it every day, no matter what's going on.
Right.
I have a question for you, Mr. Rouson, if nobody else. Just you had a long career in the NFL, and when it came to, I guess, you were thinking close to retirement. Did you have a plan for post NFL life, or you knew what you were going to do once you were done with the NFL?
Well, that's a great question
Mm-hmm.
because it piggybacks on what I just finished talking about. I didn't always know who I was really. And as a matter of fact, the first time I ever heard those words, I was in the front of a bus, getting ready to play in the Blue Gray All-Star Football Classic my senior year at Colorado. And there was this guy sitting behind a bus driver, and he was just different than everybody. And I was like, man, who are you? And he looks at me and goes, I'm the best wide receiver in the NFL. My name is Jerry Rice. I'm from Mississippi. And I was like,
What?
whatever. Because normally you ask somebody who are you, people say their name.
Mm-hmm.
That's the number one answer in the world. People, we identify ourselves with our brand, our name, but I wasn't like, yo, man, what's your name, man? I didn't say what's your name. I didn't say what's your brand. And he heard my question. I said, who are you? And he said, I am the best wide receiver in the NFL. My name is Jerry Rice. I'm from Mississippi. So he decided who he was before he was. We weren't in the NFL yet. We were still in college. It was a week before Christmas, 1984. 4 months later, on draft day, he's drafted #1 by the San Francisco 49ers.
Right.
20 years later, he retires as the all-time best wide receiver ever in the National Football League in most categories. And this is 2026, right? Just I was talking to some people at an event, and this a couple years ago, 2024. I said, 40 years ago, I met this brother right before Christmas, and I asked him who he was, and he was like, "I'm the best wide receiver in the NFL." And right now, 2024, he still holds most of the records right now.
Receiving
Wow,
records. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Jerry Rice. Yeah, that was some team, man. Joe Montana and Jerry Rice and Roger Craig and that defense. Yeah.
Yes. Romanowski.
Yeah.
They had a squad, man, and I'm gonna tell you, and we were. I mean, they won 2 Super Bowls back to back, but we were really good in the '80s too, because I remember in '85 we beat them in the playoff game, and in '86 we beat them 49-3.
Wow.
And they had all those dudes. They had all of them. They had Jerry Rice, Montana, Ronnie Lott. They had Roger Craig. They had all them dudes, and we beat them 49-3.
So what was the score in the playoffs though that year when you got to play them again? No.
Say it again now.
No. I was just making a joke.
Okay.
I was saying what was the score if you played them again? Never mind.
What was the most rushing yard you ever had in a game?
The most rushing yards I ever had in the NFL?
Yeah, in the game, yeah.
It was about 102.
102.
Yeah.
That was a big deal back then.
That's impressive. That was very
Wow,
impressive.
that was impressive. Yeah.
But I mean, it's okay, guys. My legacy is not. I was a journeyman. I was fortunate to play on great teams. But like I shared with you guys, my career got interrupted when I took a risk and decided to take the NFL to call for free agency, because once I did that, I hardly got any playing time.
Done.
So that was a choice that I made, that I didn't consider that was going to happen. I didn't consider it. I just considered I'm fighting for my freedom.
Lee,
Yes, sir.
after retirement, did you ever thought about being a coach or getting into sports broadcasting?
Well, I did coach high school in New Jersey. We won a state championship.
Wow. What high school, if you don't mind me
What was the
asking?
name of the high school in New Jersey?
It was Mount Olive High School. I was the running back coach, the special teams coach, and the strength and conditioning coach. And we won the whole thing for the first time in the history of that school. Made it into the playoffs, and then we won the whole thing. It was really. I made the Hall of Fame of the high school too. I'm in the Mount Olive Hall of Fame. So it was that. But you know what? I could have continued to coach football. I really know the game, and I know how to relate to others, especially players, and so I could be a coach. But my calling wasn't being a football coach. My calling was becoming a life coach. Like I shared with you, and I introduced myself. Not only am I an inspirational speaker, but I'm a mentor in mentorships that I engage in all throughout the country. My program is called Move Your Chains.
Wow.
Yeah,
The vision.
I heard
Yeah,
about that. We met at me and Lee met at the anti-bully squad program in 2016 at the Sixers Stadium, and Brandon McManus was there.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
The MMA fighter Brandon Jacob was there,
Oh,
and
wow.
Gene Snitsky was there, and the Sixers CEO Scott O'Neill. He's no more the CEO. He was there also. So Lee told about the move your chain thing. So that's
Amen.
how I know Lee Rossan since 2016.
That's right, and that's what I've been focused on. That's my coaching opportunity. I coach people to move the chains of their life. In other words, here's the vision of moving your chains. You learn how to press on to move forward to the goals and the dreams that you have in your life, and you're able to move the chains in terms of removing what may have you bound mentally, emotionally, physically, or spiritually. So there's a dichotomy of moving the chains. You want to move towards your goals, and then you want to move from your heart and your mind and your spirit and your body, the chains that may have you gripped. So move them chains. That's how we say it in North Carolina. We say
Move
move,
them chains.
move the chain, move the chain.
You hear
Lee,
that, William?
out of the two teams you played for, the Giants and the Cleveland Brown, who was the best fan base? You think?
I think it's you can't really compare the different. I think the Giants, they are intelligent, loyal, they have savvy. They are they don't play. They don't they're not fluff. There's no fluff about Giant fans. And the Browns fans are just crazy, in a positive way. Like I'm your boy type of fan. I love you. I'm a true Brown. Uh, the Brown fans were they're amazing in their own way. So both they're just different kind of fans. Different kind of like different kind of like mentalities.
What's the, just to piggyback off that, what's the worst fan base that you've encountered throughout your playing career?
Okay,
Philadelphia, no doubt.
I will say the Eagles, but it's not true.
Yeah,
I would say the Cowboys.
we can agree. We can agree with that.
The Cowboys.
You don't like the Cowboys.
The Cowboys and the 49ers.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Well, there you have it, folks.
One of the viewers have a question for you, Lee. They
Okay.
want to know how much did the Giants pay Scott Norwood to miss the field goal in the Super Bowl? And this is by Kevin Coupe's dad, Chet Coupe.
Well, I'll tell you what. Whatever the Giants fans or the Giants organization paid Scott, it was enough money because it really affected him. He was really tore up. Can you imagine you being a field goal kicker, and if you
Oh
if you
yeah.
if you make that field goal, you win the game. If you don't make it, you lose.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
that's honestly pretty life-changing, really. Just how much pressure is on kickers nowadays. I can only imagine what they go through
They're
when they
either the hero or the villain. Yeah.
it's a lot of pressure, guys.
Yeah,
You
no
know,
doubt.
and it's easy for you to say, just do your job. All you got to do is kick the ball. That's it. It's easy to have that kind of voice, right? And that kind of judgment, but it's really really difficult. And that's why, again, man, I tell you, we when I played with the football giants, we treated our kickers like they was like the best thing since sliced bread. They they knew we loved on them, man. We doted on them, man. We
Yeah.
made them feel like they were like one of the boys, okay? And so it kind of helped them get through some stressful situations and times they faced.
Mhm.
It did. I'm sure it did.
Hey Lee, I actually have a question for you that I just thought of. So the other day, I was watching a video. I think it was Jameis Winston was talking with Jason and Travis Kelce, the brothers, and Jameis Winston was talking about his welcome to the NFL moment, which Jameis Winston said his welcome to the NFL moment was his first pass in his NFL career was a touchdown. However, the touchdown was actually a pick six. I'm interested to hear, like, what would you say that your welcome to the NFL moment was?
Well, my
in your
welcome to
career?
NFL moment was I'm running down on the kickoff team against the Houston Oilers like a bat out of hell, right? I mean, I'm gonna take this guy out who's the returner, and I mean I'm going down, man. I got my eyes on him. I'm going to take him out, and all of a sudden somebody takes me out because I didn't have my head on a swivel. I,
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
you got him.
wasn't. I was just looking at that guy like I'm gonna get him right.
Yeah.
And
Ton-
man, that was my welcome to the NFL moment right there.
That's a brutal
That's
one.
interesting.
There's nothing better than getting hit while you're running downfield from the side and you
I
don't see
know.
it.
Bam!
Bam! It's all over.
Lee, did any of the NFL team offered you like a coaching position, like offensive coordinator position in NFL or something?
No, but if you want to be my agent, man, I would probably consider it. I would think about it maybe just for a couple of years, you know. I
Yeah.
got some
Yeah.
pretty good offensive ideas, man, about how to move the ball down the field.
Eagles are still
Yeah,
looking for
Eagles
an
are still
offensive
searching right
coordinator, right?
now.
There you go. If if if
Yeah.
if you guys wouldn't mind a former Giant man calling plays,
No.
As long as you win,
As
that's
long
all
as
we
you win, man, it's all that
that's right, just
matters.
win, baby.
Right.
Since Saquon Barkley used to play for the Giants,
Oh,
do you talk to Saquon Barkley sometime?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, I have not spoken to Saquon, but we've had conversations, years ago, before he came to the Eagles, but I have not ran into him since he's been the Eagle. But I tell you what, man, that was one of the, I don't know, questionable choices by the Giants organization right there, but it sure did benefit the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it did.
What a great year the Eagles had last year. I mean, the Eagles had one of the most dominant seasons ever in the NFL by an organization. They were totally and purely dominant. And and the goal this year, they weren't that way this year. And it goes to show you, like every season is its own. Every
Mhm.
season is its own, and that was one season that stands out amongst every season. And the only comparable season was probably the Miami Dolphins in 1972, who the whole season they went undefeated.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So that's probably they had that perfect season. That's probably the only comparable season with the season that the Philadelphia Eagles had last year. They were dominant.
So
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
actually
Miami
just to
definitely.
piggyback off that. I was born in Massachusetts, so I grew up kind of a Patriots fan. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady were my coach and quarterback duo, and that perfect season they almost had to be ruined by the Giants.
Oh yeah.
I have a special place of hate for the Giants in my heart from both the Eagles and the Patriots side.
So he hates. He doesn't. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter the team.
But you know you got to, because the Giants. I mean, not just one time did they get him. They got him another time too, two times.
Mhm.
Lee, when Eli Manning was playing for the Giants, how did you feel about the fact that he was bench, if you recall?
That he was benched
Yeah, Eli Manning.
When Eli Manning was
at the
playing.
end of his career.
Yep.
Again, from my own personal experience, I was like, it's time to go, Eli. For that to happen, it's just your time. Your time is up.
Yeah.
I didn't want to feel sorry for him. I don't like feeling sorry for people, because that doesn't help anyone out when you feel sorry for somebody.
Right.
I
Yeah.
empathize with his position. I guess he didn't feel like it was time for him to give it up yet, so he had to go through that. But I thought it was just time to go.
Yeah, well, a lot of guys feel that way, that they have one more year in them. They can do this. I can keep moving. I'm doing fine. And then you about 15, 20 years later, you wake up in the morning one day, and your whole body hurts. And then you think, you know what? I probably should have retired that 1 year.
I'm sure.
If you,
It
Lee, if you were still playing in the NFL right now, do you think you would fit into any of these teams right now?
Yeah, yeah. I would fit in. It would be fluid. It would happen just like any. Some things never change in life.
uh
Um,
and,
y-
and
you know, so I would most definitely fit into a certain energy and a certain unity of a team. I would love it.
Lee, I have a question.
Yes.
Recently, the Eagles fired their offensive coordinator. Uh, if you were offensive coordinator coaching for, would you step in as the new offensive coordinator if you wanted to?
Yeah, I mean I know I have a lot of knowledge about being living on the offensive, not learning about something that's trying to stop you, knowing certain defensive schemes, but the main focus is not your enemy, not who's trying to stop you. Your main focus is how is you.
Yes.
How are you going to approach the line of scrimmage? What kind of unity do you have amongst all your teammates? And so, yeah, man, I would be dialing it up, brother. I'll be doing have all kind of plays going on as an offensive coordinator, man. Would nobody stop me, stop my team.
Yeah.
So,
Y-
Mr. Rouson, I just have a quick question, if you guys don't mind.
sure.
I appreciated Charlie, you making the parallel for real estate and football earlier. My question is to kind of piggyback off that is just, especially when you took your time to fight your case and you were kind of being blackballed by the NFL. With real estate, we every time we have team meetings or we talk with our brokerages, we're always talking about motivation. You go a long stretch without, even getting a paycheck or getting a client, or
Yes.
you're spending months with clients building that relationship, but not really seeing the benefit to feed your family at that moment, right?
Mm.
So for you, when you went through kind of those troubling times, or even as a player getting beaten up and you got to play the next weekend or something, what are things that motivated you or kept you going, or motivations you looked out from external or internal factors?
Yeah, I really appreciate that's a great question, brother. It's because again, the in roles that we play in life in periods of time, a lot of us experienced some of the things you said. You go a while without getting a paycheck. You don't have money. Money's not coming in.
Hmm.
The things that you are engaged with are not happening. Uh, you know, and do you become anxious? Do you enter into a
Hmm.
prison of anxiety? Do you enter into a prison of anger because things don't go your way? And it's easy to do that, to let your emotions rule your life, to let your emotions be the foundation or the power source that you plug into to make choices. And the one thing that I communicate to everybody, and I said this a little while ago, is know who you are really. Be plugged into a power source that will give you energy to continue not to give up and to stay focused. Okay. um build your life, every role that you play, as a husband, as a father, as a friend, as a business employee, business owner, whatever role it is. Build your life on a solid foundation, that when the storms come, when the hard times come, you're going to be standing, man, when that storm passes over. And you have to believe that it's going to pass. And that's a part of, again, to be living in your real true identity. Now, a lot of people have no clue who they are really. So when hard times come, they're done. It'll come a time they just give up. And and when I first started my inspiration of talking, the title of my talk was "Never Give Up," and it wasn't something I just made up. It was my life, because I've been struggling ever since I was 13. And so when again, in terms of the path of my life, my experiences being from football, from when I was 10 years old, I was the first African American to make a Pop Warner team.
Oh, wow.
That was a major struggle, because first of all, the team was in another neighborhood, and all of us kids had to talk our parents into taking us out of our neighborhood to a whole other neighborhood to try to make this Pop Warner team, because we heard that if you beat everybody, you get to go to Florida for the Super Bowl for little kids called the Sertomo Bowl. So we thought we were going to be Super Bowl champions. We were 10 years old, and we talked our parents to take us to the white community, and then every black kid who tried out for the team got cut. I was the only black kid that made it. All the black girls got cut from the cheerleading team. And when my father heard about that, he said, "Boy, you either going to stay for this team, stay on this team that you made, or you're going to come home and play for a team that appreciates you and your sister. I'm going to give you 3 days to make a decision." So I had to make a decision. And so when the 3 days is over, my father comes to my bedroom and says, "What's your choice, son?" And I'm like, "Well, Daddy, this is the hardest decision I ever made in my whole life. But what's going on between you grown people in America? Us little kids, we didn't start it. But if I quit right now, nothing's going to change in this country. I'm going to stay on the team." And then he got himself together. I don't think he expected me to come back at him like that. And he was like, "Well, I'm not going to come and see you play on Saturdays."
Wow.
And every Saturday he would take my sister to breakfast and would not come and see me play. And it tore me up, but I would not give up. I kept on going. And at the end of the year, for the banquet, the coach says, "Lee, Rouson, come here." Everybody knows that Lee is the most valuable player. But I want everybody to know, because of the choice that he made, next year we're going to have the same amount of black boys on the team and black girls on the cheerleading team. That was 1972. Things began to change in Greensboro, North Carolina.
That's amazing.
That's very amazing.
That's
Powerful.
And then that was like a positive, strong struggle when I was 10 years old. And then when I signed my name on the contract to go to Colorado, 3 days goes by on ABC, CBS, NBC, Colorado was put on probation. No one told me Colorado was under investigation for me to consider maybe I shouldn't go to Colorado. They didn't even tell us. They just let us sign our name on a contract, and we had to face the consequence of a choice somebody else made. And we didn't hardly win any games in Colorado, and that's why my stock went down, and I ended up being drafted in the 8th round by the Giants. They had all kind of crazy stuff going on in the NFL at that time. They had the USFL that came in, taking ball players from the NFL, a whole new league. And then the year I was drafted in '85, the USFL started going down. So they went down, and the NFL went and swooped up all the ball players from the USFL that did not go into the NFL draft, that was playing in the USFL, so the NFL felt they had the ball players then, so they cut their roster from 59 men to 45 men. So there were 59 men on the NFL roster. Now there were just 45 men. I didn't have a chance. The Giants, their number one draft pick was a running back from Kentucky. They brought in other running backs from the USFL. I didn't even have a chance to make the team. And so the last preseason game, we get ready to play the Pittsburgh Steelers. The next week, we get ready to play the Cowboys for the first game of the NFL season. And the trainer calls me to his room. He says, "Listen, Lee, we like you, but we don't have enough room for you in the team. But when the fourth quarter comes, I'm going to give you a signal. I'm going to rub my head like this. I'm going to rub my chest like that. When I give you that signal, I want you to go on the field, and I want you to fall and act like you broke your knee. We're going to send an ambulance on the field and come and get you. You're not going to be hurt. You're just going to act like you're hurt. And that's how you're going to make the team." Well, I never heard about that in my life. I wasn't like, yeah, all right, I would be a New York Giant. I didn't even know how to respond or react. I didn't get mad. I wasn't happy. I just walked out of his hotel room. I was in a stupor. I didn't know what I was going to do,
Well, we
but
had a
I knew I had a
timeout.
choice to make.
What we
So
had a
so
timeout.
so the fourth quarter comes, and I'm thinking to myself, am I going to break my right knee or my left knee? So obviously, when I was in the locker room before the game, I realized that this happened. I started looking around the locker room. I said, this is something that goes on in the NFL. So I'm gonna go for my Academy Award. So I decided that I was gonna do it. And so when I'm thinking about what knee I'm gonna break, the trainer runs over to me and he goes, "You don't have to do it. A running back just got hurt for real." And one of the giant running backs got hurt. And so I didn't have to act, I didn't have to play that role. I didn't have to act like I was hurt. And I was all happy. I was like, I'm a New York Giant. Yeah, 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 yeah. I was like fired up, dancing and stuff like that. Took my shower, put my clothes on. I was all like happy. All of a sudden, the trainer comes to me and says, "Hey, Lee, we just checked out that running back. He's going to be okay. You see that door over there? There's a doctor in that room. You go in there and you tell them you pulled your hamstring muscle. They can't detect whether something's wrong with your muscle compared to bone. Go do it right now." And since I had already decided I was going to do it, I did. I went in the room, acted like my hamstring was hurt, and I had to come to practice every day acting like I was hurt, wasn't nothing wrong with me. It was so humiliating. And I vowed that I was never going to make a choice like that again in my life. Because and my choice is based on fear. The reason why I decided I was going to do it because I was afraid if I didn't do what they wanted me to do, I was going to get cut. But I didn't know that there were about, I guess, about 7 or 8 other NFL teams that were waiting for me to get cut because they wanted me, because they saw me in the preseason games that I played in, my runs, my touchdown runs, and my great plays, and I wasn't even thinking about that. I was so caught up in trying to make the team, I didn't even think about it. They were calling the Giants the after the next day after the last preseason game. Well, we don't see Rouson on the roster. We want to make a deal. We want him. Well, you can't have him. He's on our injured reserve list.
Oh man.
And so a lot of times, guys, what's the point of this story?
Well, so I've been following along, and the first thing you said was never give up, and it seems through every story or every point you've gone through, make it to your NFL career, it seems like you really embodied never give up. Even starting at 10 years old, telling your dad that you were going to join that team. At least that's what I'm getting from it as well.
And there's no doubt about it. And and for the first time in my life, in the story that I just shared with everybody, I was beginning to give up and didn't know it because I identified with fear. See, that's what happens when we identify with an identity that's not who we really are. These are the type of things that happen in our lives.
Hmm.
We make decisions that are not healthy for us. And I will never give up hope for my family, for my friends, and even for the human race. I'll never give up. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff we all know is going on in the world right now. We know it's always been all kinds of things going on in the world, you know. But no matter what's going on, I will never give up.
At my work, I work for PennDOT Driver's License Center. I never give up, even when we are like when there's long lines for real IDs and all. I never give up. We work as a team, and we help each other out. So
And people
yeah,
screaming at you, Raul.
Yeah. You get
Yeah.
the angry people, yeah.
Oh yeah, I
They all
bet.
had attitudes.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, Rahul.
Lee, I work as a production associate at IMS Trading / Clean Logic, and I try my best to work hard there every day. And as Raul was saying, for my job, we all work together as a team. Also,
That's awesome. There's nothing more powerful than unity. When you work together, that's what that's called. Working together as a team. It's called unity. When we are unified in our minds and hearts, there's nothing that can stop you.
yeah.
Nothing.
Most of all, I never give up.
There you go.
Uh,
Never give up.
Lee, one last question before we wrap things up.
Okay,
Uh,
good.
uh, uh, which person or athlete or family member or friend inspired you to become who you are right now?
I guess
Good question.
that's a really good question. I will say my mother. I would say my mother has. I can't say quietly because I heard it loud and clear. But somebody else will say, well, your mother doesn't really talk that much and she's kind of quiet. But she wasn't quiet in terms of how she responded to situations and circumstances that she faced in her life. I saw her. She didn't quietly overcome doubt. She did it loudly. I mean, I saw her overcome and face the doubt in her life. And a lot of people, um, you know, I tell you, if they had an opportunity to meet my mother, they would learn how to do that. And so my mother has really been a major strength, a major. She has been a positive, godly role model for me in my life, and I'm very grateful and thankful for that.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, Will.
I feel the same way about my mom, too. How she was a good role model in my life when she was around. Sadly, she
Oh,
passed away almost 5 years ago.
oh
I'm
man.
so sorry.
Thank you.
Uh, Before William wrap things up, uh, Lee and Rahul and Kevin, can you come up with a motivational quote for the viewers out there? We can talk, and we could start with.
I'll go last. I'll go last, guys.
We could start with Kevin.
All
We
right,
can start
Raul,
with
you're.
Kevin.
Oh, Kevin. All right, you're up.
Okay, I mean, yeah, that's hard. I mean, I guess my motivational quote to anyone out there would be to, never give up, never surrender. Your dreams are always possible no matter what anyone ever tells you. That's kind of just my short, sweet motivation
Well,
right
that's
there.
good. Thank you very much, Raul.
Well, this is really hard on spot because Lee took a lot of the good ones throughout the
We'll just take a couple of the bad ones.
We had
but
both Raul's on tonight.
yeah.
That was Raul.
But I actually do really resonate with what Lee said earlier about knowing yourself, but taking action upon knowing yourself. I see it a lot with people I've grown up with or within family members where they kind of uh, grow and do learn themselves, but they don't know how to get out of that hold that Lee was talking about to then take action to move forward. So I guess it's not really a motivational quote, but it's something I really do resonate with and really do believe is that there's two factors for you to never give up and show strength and move forward. And it's not just knowledge, but it's also action.
Right. So it's not about what we do. It's about what real love does in us.
I like that.
It's not about what we do,
Hmm.
because so many of us human beings, we're so caught up in what we do. I did this. I got to do this. Blah 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 blah. It's not about what we do. It's about what real love does.
I love that you spelled love with VERB.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And just practice it on somebody that that you care about. Say, I verb you. And you'll be like, what?
I'm gonna go tell my wife, and she's gonna think I'm crazy right now.
There you go. You break it down to her. Break it down.
Hey, baby, I want to verb you.
I want to verb you, honey. I verb you. Tell your kids that I verb you.
Kevin, good luck with your wedding.
Yes,
Oh, thank
Kevin.
you. Well, I appreciate that.
Good
Congratulations.
luck with your wedding, Kevin.
And
Congrats.
Yeah,
Raul,
thank you, everyone.
congratulations to your house.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, the Raul, the guest we have on tonight, not our leader, Raul. How do you, how do you like sharing the same name with Raul? I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
It was great because we were in the same high school, and you know, at North Penn, not a lot of Rahuls. So when we that's how we first connected. Like, you're Rahul, me too. So
You're
I
the
think
Rahul Club.
I immediately became Rahul number 2 though when I was in his presence. So it's okay.
There you go.
William, can you do the closing statement?
Sure thing. Thank you for listening to another episode of Rockin' and Raul and the Three Amigos. Please click and subscribe to our channel and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you for listening. Have a great night. Catch us next week on our next episode.
Very good,
Right.
Will.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys.
Thank you.
Bless
Thank
you
you,
guys.
Thank you, guys.
Take care
Awesome.
now.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all
Appreciate
for
it.
Thank you.
Night
See
night.
you, Kevin. See you,
Yeah.
Raul.
A
Yeah,
pleasure
nice
to meet
meeting
you,
you,
Mr.
Leah and
Bye.
Rouson.
Yeah,
Raul.
now. Bless you.
Raul,
Take it easy, guys.
Bye,
All right.
number
Care.
Raul, number one,
Bye.
number two. Bye, Charlie.
I'll see you, Will.
See ya.
Hey, this was great, guys. Thank you so much for having me. Thanks, Rahul, for reaching
Yeah.
out.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, of course. If you ever need a realtor on, or you just want